Good evening, dear students. Good evening, dear teachers. And good evening, respected all my officers. So today we are starting the discussion of the paper Science 2. So this is the paper pattern. Okay. Instructions. All questions must be attempted. Then wherever necessary, scientifically correct diagrams and correct labeling should be drawn. Start every main question on a new page. Okay, this you have to keep in mind and make a habit that you have to start every new main question on a new page. Numbers to the right indicate marks, and for questions 1A, that is MCQ, marks will be given for the first attempt. Okay, so you have to select the correct alternative. You have to be very careful. The answers to every MCQ should be written as shown in the example that I will show you now. Now this is the marks 40 and marks with option 60. So question number 1A, 5 questions of 1 mark each, only textbook based questions. And question 1B, that 5 questions of 1 mark each, no fill in the blanks questions. Okay. So true or false, correlation, answer in one sentence, odd one out. All these questions are asked in one question number 1B. No fill in the blanks. Question number 2A, that is the scientific reason. Give scientific reason questions of 2 marks each. Attempt any 2. Minimum 1 question from biology and 1 from EVS. Then question number 2B, 5 questions of 2 marks each. Attempt any 3. Minimum 2 from biology and 2 from EVS. Then question number 3, 8 questions of 3 marks each, and you have to attempt any 5, 4 from biology and 4 from EVS. Then the last question number 4, 2 questions of 5 marks. Attempt any 1 from bio and 1 from EVS. Okay, this is the paper pattern with option 60 marks and marks 40. Okay, so this is the first question. Everyone knows, as you are writing now, second prelim is near about finishing. So multiple choice questions based on textbook. Okay, question number 1A, 1 mark each. In question number 1A, 5 sub-questions of multiple choice bearing 1 marks each will be asked. These sub-questions are based on textual matter. While answering these questions, you are expected to write only the alphabet of correct choice. Okay, only the alphabet. The alphabet that you write in the initial attempt will be considered for marking, thus sure when you are entering the answer. Okay, if you will by mistakes you will write the correct answer is A, and by mistake you have written B, and you will cut B and write A, then you will not get marks. Okay, first attempt whatever you are writing, that is will be considered. So for this you have to select the correct alternative and write. Okay, so this is the paper Science and Technology Part 2. What are the instructions given? One more time we'll repeat. It is necessary to solve all the questions. Draw a neat and label diagram wherever necessary. Start a new question on a main page. Figures on the right side indicate marks. For each multiple choice question 1A, only first answer will be considered. Write answers of each MCQ option on number only. For example, फर्स्ट एमसीक्यू का आंसर अगर ए है देन यू विल राइट ओनली ए whatever answer is given you will not write, okay, just you have to write the alphabet. After giving so many instructions also some of the students they make such mistakes, okay. So question number 1A, choose and write the correct options only. So first MCQ is proteins are produced by DNA through RNA molecules called as. Okay, so the option is central dogma. Okay. Then second one is mutation may cause the genetic disorders like. So options are given: anemia, cancer, sickle cell anemia, and COVID-19. Okay, so mutation may cause the genetic disorders. So correct option is sickle cell anemia. Third one, the food supplied from the mother to the fetus from an organ called dash during pregnancy. Options are breast, uterus, placenta, ovary. So correct option is placenta. Fourth MCQ, the jungle in Kokilamuk of Chordat district of Assam is well known as. So options are given: Molai jungle, Jenda jungle, Henyu jungle, and Peng jungle. So correct option is Molai jungle. Fifth one, harmful bacteria like dash in the intestine are destroyed due to probiotics. Options are gluconic acid, Clostridium, amino acid, acetic acid. So correct option is Clostridium. Okay. For to find out for my convenience, I have marked this in correct options in blue color. So while writing answer, how you will write down? Okay, question 1A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MCQs are there. So you will write only the option alphabet. Okay, B, C, C, A, B. Only this much you have to write down. Okay, some of the students they write down the question number, question 1A, then they copy the question also, choose and write the correct options only. This much also they write. Why you want to waste the time? Every examiner while checking the paper, they have the question paper with them. So no need to copy the questions. Just you have to write down the answer. But you have to keep in mind, you have to write down the question number, sub question, and beat number in a proper way. Okay, now question number 1 and sub question is A and beat number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the first question A MCQ. In this way only you have to write down. Some of the students they make a habit that they write down the options also. So for D, then they will write down the central dogma, sickle cell anemia, second, third, placenta, no need. Okay, what they have asked, choose and correct and write the correct option only. So in this way, we have completed question number 1A. Now moving to question number A, B. Okay, sub question B. Answer the following questions. Okay, these questions will contain 5 different types of objective questions of 1 mark each. Different types of questions will be as follows, that is, find the odd one out, correlation, match the columns or make pairs, true or false, give the names or the flow chart to be completed. Okay, no fill in the blanks. In this, out of this 5, they can ask anything. So this is your question number 1, sub question B. Solve the following questions. It is find odd one out, that is cockroach, butterfly, spider, honeybee. Second one, which are the different forms of energy? And third one is write whether true or false the flow of nutrients in the ecosystem is considered a single transport. And this fourth one, identify and complete the correlation. Okay, correlation, white revolution, dairy, so blue revolution, question mark. Fifth one, give 2 examples. Regarding what examples you have to give? Physical problems arising due to excessive use of mobile phones. Now students, whenever you are at the time when you will get the question paper, okay, you have to read the question paper thoroughly. Okay, with the pencil you can just mark it down, whatever you are easily you can recall and write down. Okay, yeah. Once you read the question paper, you will understand what you exactly you have to write down, how to do the time management. Okay, so first 5 minutes you have to go through the whole question paper. Now we'll see the answers. In this way you have to write down the answers. Okay, by mistake it is written A, so it is question number 1B. So what was the question? That find the odd one out. So first answer is spider. Okay, spider is 8-legged arachnid. Remaining are the insects. What are insects? Cockroach, butterfly, and honeybee. Then what question? What was the second question? It was which are the different forms of energy? So you are very much aware of this: heat, light, electrical energy, solar energy, chemical energy, nuclear energy, mechanical energy, etc. are the different forms of energy. This is the question from the towards green energy, 5th chapter. Okay, so this is the answer in one sentence. So this way, in the full sentence, you have to write down the answer: heat, light, electric energy, solar energy, comma, chemical energy, comma, nuclear energy, comma, mechanical energy, etc. are the different forms of energy. Full stop. Now third one, write whether true or false. Okay. The flow of nutrients in the ecosystem is considered is a single transport, so that is false. Many of the students they ask uh, whether to for the true or false, whether we have to write down the sentence. Okay, so you can write sentence also, no issue. Okay. Flow of nutrients is cyclic. Okay. And flow of energy in an ecosystem is unidirectional. Now this is correlation. Correlation also you have to write down. White revolution, dairy, okay, milk and milk products, and blue revolution, that is fishery, fish. Now you have to give the two examples of the physical problems arising to the excessive use of mobiles. Okay. If you are using the phone for the good cause, that is you are using the phone for study, okay, to attend the online lectures, then and for the limited period, so you will not suffer any kind of physical problem. But continuously, if you playing games, watching entertaining programs or videos, then you may face problems like headache, vision problem, and joint pains. Okay, continuously you are staring to the videos, you're not blinking your eyes, just concentrating on the videos. You're not aware how much time you are expending to watch the videos, and you're continuously with one hand carrying the phone, and your neck is bent, so you are facing the problems like headache, vision problem, and joint pains. So here we have completed question number 1, sub question A and sub question B. So you should get all 10 marks out of 10 here in question number 1. Now moving to question number 2. Question number 2, sub question A. Give the scientific reason. Any two for 4 marks. 2 for each one. Question 1. Krebs cycle is also known as citric acid cycle. Second one is nuclear energy source is known as the most comprehensive energy source. And third one is balanoglossus is connecting link between non-chordates and chordates. So this is the first answer. So whenever you're writing the answers, you have to write the answers in the point wise. Okay. In science paper, you have to use the scientific language. So first, Sir Hans Krebs proposed this cycle, and hence it is called as Krebs cycle. You know the scientist Sir Hans Krebs. These are the series of cyclic chain reaction which begins with acetyl coenzyme A molecules which act with molecules of oxaloacetic acid. Second point, the reaction are catalyzed with the help of specific enzymes. The first molecule formed in this reaction is called as the citric acid. Therefore, Krebs cycle is also called as citric acid cycle. What question is asked, your answer should be fulfilling. Okay, the examiner should be satisfied with your answer. So if you'll write in such a way without any spelling mistakes, so you will get 2 marks. Okay, once again I'll repeat. Sir Hans Krebs proposed this cycle, and hence it is called as the Krebs cycle. These are the series of cyclic chain reactions which begins with acetyl coenzyme molecules which act with molecules of coaxalic acetic acid. The reactions are catalyzed with the help of specific enzymes. The first molecule formed in this reaction is called citric acid. Therefore, Krebs cycle is also called as citric acid cycle. Second one, what was the question? Nuclear energy source is known as the most comprehensive energy source. Okay, why nuclear energy is known as the most comprehensive energy source? Okay, so which are the different energy sources? Thermal power plant, hydroelectric power plant, solar thermal power plant, and power plant based on the natural gas, and then power plant based on the wind energy. So why among these that the nuclear energy source is known as the most comprehensive energy source? Okay, so you have to write down the nuclear power releases less radiation into the environment. Okay, which is the first point. Nuclear power releases less radiation into the environment than any other major energy source. Second, nuclear power plants operate at much higher capacity factors than renewable energy source or fossil fuels. Third, nuclear power releases less radiation into the environment than any other major energy sources. Okay, this one got repeated. And you can add, in the nuclear power plant, the energy is released by fission of nuclei of atoms like uranium or plutonium. This energy is used to generate the steam of high temperature and high pressure. The kinetic energy in the steam rotates the turbine. The turbine in turn drives the generator to produce electricity. Now third one, melanoglossus is connecting link between non-chordates and chordates. First point, melanoglossus shows some characters of non-chordates. It also has notochord as in case of chordates. Since it shares the characters of non-chordates and chordates from the viewpoint of evolution, it is called connecting link between them. Okay, so in this way you have complete. So here we have completed the give reason. Question number 2a. Out of 3 you have to write any 2. Now question number 2, sub question B. Solve the following questions, any 3. Okay, any 3 you have to write, each carrying for 2 marks, that is total 6 marks. This question will contain 5 sub questions of 2 marks each. You have to attempt any 3 questions. Minimum 2 questions from biology and 2 questions from EVS will be asked. Now what is asked in question number 2b? Different types of question are as follows. That is, first one is laws, definitions, principles. Second one is short notes. Third one is complete the flow chart. Fourth one, give difference between. Fifth one, write properties or characteristics or uses or advantages or effects. Sixth one, give example based on concept, a process and component. So out of this, they can ask anything. 5 questions will be there. Out of 5, you have to attempt 3 questions. Okay, so we'll start with the now. So first question is, some symbols are given below. Explain those symbols. Which disaster may occur if those symbols are ignored? Okay. Now you might have seen many of the trucks, big trucks, they are carrying the material. Okay, and many of the people they are not aware, and some accidents might take place. So for that purpose, it is compulsory for the from the RTO department, rules and regulations of the traffic, symbols have to be put on the transporting vehicle. So first one, now while writing this question, you see this question is of first question is of 2 marks. So you have just what we are expecting examiner, that you have to uh, guess the symbol. Okay, write the correct uh, what is it meaning, and you have to just explain in one sentence. It is carrying for 2 marks, so no need to draw the diagram. Okay, no need to draw the symbols. So first one is inflammable. You have to write down inflammable, and then uh, some of explain those symbols. Which disaster may occur if those symbols are ignored? If we ignore, then what will happen? Similar to explosive substance, the inflammable material can also catch fire easily. Therefore, to warn people, such sign is given on materials that can cause hazard by burning. Okay, if people are unaware, if the vehicle is carrying some explosive, and we have to maintain the distance while driving. So if symbol is there, so people are warned, they are aware, so they will maintain the distance while driving. So this one, first one is inflammable, similar to explosive substance. The inflammable material can also catch fire easily. Therefore, to warn people, such sign is given on material that can cause hazard by burning. Now see the second one. Second one is the symbol of explosive. Some materials are explosive. If explosion occurs, there would be a major disaster causing great loss of life and property. Thus, if sign is seen, great care has to be taken. Okay, we'll guess and write the uh, sentence regarding if the symbols are ignored, what will happen. So you will get 2 marks. Some materials are explosive. If explosion occurs, there would be a major disaster causing great loss of life and property. Thus, if this sign is seen, great care has to be taken. People become aware. Okay, this was your first question. Moving to the second. What is the second question? Write difference non-chordates and chordates. Write the difference between non-chordates and chordates. Make two columns. Write down the heading non-chordates, chordates. The first point, non-chordates are less evolved animals and are on the lower levels of evolution. Second point, non-chordates do not have the notochord. In non-chordates, there are no pharyngeal gill slits. Fourth point, nerve cord, if present, is double and solid. In chordates are more evolved animals and are on higher level of evolution. Second, chordates have notochord at least in some stage of development. Third point, in chordates there are pharyngeal gill slits. And fourth point, nerve cord is single and hollow. Okay, it is for 2 marks. So you are expected to write 2 points. If you write more, it will also do. Coming to the question 3. How can the oil spills of river and oceans are cleaned? Okay, roadways, airways, and seaways. Okay, 3 ways of transportation. So big ships carrying many of the materials, okay, and then sometimes the accidents takes place. Then what happens? Oil spills. Okay, oil spills. How can the oil spills of river and oceans are cleaned? Oil, if the layers are of oils are not clean, what will happen? The sunlight will not penetrate inside the sea, and the aquatic life may come in danger. For that purpose, we human beings have to take utmost care that the oil spills and of rivers and oceans should not happen. And if it happens, then how we have to clean. That we'll see now. First point, the oil spills are caused by crude oil or petroleum hydrocarbon. Okay, what is the cause? How it is causing? It is causing by the oil, crude oil or petroleum hydrocarbon. The oil spill takes place in rivers or oceans due to the several reasons. This crude oil is highly toxic to the flora and fauna of the aquatic environment. Okay, it is very highly toxic. So the flora and fauna of the aquatic environment can be damaged. By using mechanical means, the oil spill can be removed, but it is very difficult as the technology is developed. Okay, so by the mechanical means, the oil spill can be removed, but it is very difficult. The biological way to remove this pollution is done by using culture of microbes like Pseudomonas species and Alcanovirax borkimensis. So these are the microbes. With the help of these microbes, the biological way to remove this pollution, that is oil spills of rivers and oceans, are cleaned. They have the ability to destroy the pyridines and other chemicals present in the hydrocarbon. Who have the ability? Pseudomonas species and Alcanovirax porcumensis. They have the ability to destroy the pyridines and other chemical present in the hydrocarbons. So in this point wise, you have to write down the answers. Now see the fourth one. Complete the following conceptual picture. Okay. So it is cleaning sewage after processing. Now while writing answer, you have to make this conceptual picture and then you have to write down the answers. So you have to complete. Okay, whatever asked, what is blank, don't write that much only. Complete the whole conceptual picture. So first is cleaning sewage after processing, then is safe water, use of slurry as fertilizer, and use in biogas plant. So in this way, you will complete the conceptual picture. Okay. Don't just write 1, 2, 3, whatever is missing, you will write down. No, you will not get complete marks. So in this way, you have to write down and you will get full 2 marks. Coming to the question number 5. Which are the objectives of disaster management? Okay, everyone is know 10th chapter disaster management. So what are the objectives? What you have to do? To save human life from disaster, to help them from moving away from the place of disaster by rapid action. Okay. Now some disasters like earthquake, we are we don't get time. Okay, but like this heavy rainfall, flood, cyclone. So for that, the weather forecast they give us information that within 2 to 3 days there will be heavy rainfall and some cyclone is coming. So the management start preparing. So we get time, but in earthquake and fire, we get less time. So what is the main agenda that we have to save the human life from disaster? To help them from moving away from the place of disaster by rapid action, to supply essential commodities to the affected people. Okay, this helps to reduce the gravity of disaster. People are given grains, water, and clothes and other basic necessities under this objective. Third one, to bring back the conditions of the affected people to normalcy, to their normal life, to rehabilitate the affected and displaced victims, to think and execute the protective measures in order to develop capability to face the disaster in future. So these are the some main objectives, okay, to save human life. Then we have to supply them with the uh, grains, water, clothes, food. Okay, then giving them work. We have to bring their no, life to the normal. Then to rehabilitate the affected and displaced victim. And if they have lost their home, then again we have to rebuild. Then to think and execute the protective measures in order to develop capability to face the disaster in future. So here we have also completed the question number 2B. Out of 5, you have to write any 3 for 6 marks. 2 of each. Come to the question number 3. Answer the following any 5. Okay. This question will contain 8 sub-questions of 3 marks each. You have to attempt any 5 questions. 4 questions from the biology and 4 from EVS will be asked. Different types of questions are as follows. Which questions are likely to be asked in these questions? Give explanation using giving statements, suggest remedies or measures, explanation of diagrams, complete the label uh, and chart, explain with the help of examples, complete the diagram, answer the question based on figures, write the answers with explanations, write laws, theories, and explain, complete the paragraph by filling the gaps. So, out of this, they may ask anything. 4 from biology and from 4 from EVS, total 8 questions. From that, you have to write any 5, you have to attempt any 5, each carrying 3 marks. So, your first question, write about the evidences of evolution in your own words. Okay, first chapter, heredity and evolution. So, write about the evidences of evolution in your own words. Anatomy, species may share similar physical features because the feature was present in a common ancestor, homologous structures. Okay. Second, molecular biology. DNA and the genetic code reflect the shared ancestry of life. DNA comparison can show how related species are. Biogeography, the global distribution of organisms and the unique features of island species reflect evolution and geological changes. Fossils. Fossils document fossils document the existence of now extinct past species that are related to the present day species. Direct observation. We can directly observe small case evolution in organisms with short life cycles, for example, pesticides resistance insects. Okay. This may vary individual answers. Okay, but the content should be same. So this is for 3 marks. So you are expect to write this much points. Now your second question. Explain the process of formation of complex proteins. Okay. Process of formation of complex proteins. The amino acid brought in by tRNA is bonded together by peptide bonds with the help of rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. During this process, ribosomes keeps on moving from one end to another other end of mRNA by the distance of one triplet codon. Such many chains come together to form a complex protein. Okay. Amino acid brought in by tRNA is bonded together by a peptide bond with the help of ribosomal RNA, and then during this process ribosomes keep on moving from one end to another end of mRNA by the distance of a one triplet codon. So such many chains come together to form a complex protein. Now this question is there in each every paper. The symbols are changed. Okay, so each and every symbol you have to learn. Let them ask any of the symbols. So 3 marks are fixed over here. What are the meaning of the following symbols? Write your role accordingly. Okay, this answer is also uh, may vary. Okay, you have to write your role. So first symbol, these symbols tell us to save electricity. Okay, need of the hour, that you have to save the electricity. If electricity is carefully used, we can save our natural resources. This message is given through this picture. Okay, so everyone should take initiative to save electricity. When there is a need, that much electricity is all should be utilized, and unnecessarily wastage of electricity should be avoided. Second symbol, use bicycle. Use of bicycle means use of green energy. By riding on a bicycle, we save on fuel and use our own muscular energy. It is the best eco-friendly, non-polluting vehicle. Yeah. So whenever you can use your bicycle, make use of it instead of taking the bike or four-wheeler. So by in this way you can save the you can conserve the environment. Okay, this is the best eco-friendly non-polluting vehicle. Third symbol, this symbol is giving message of save water. Each and every drop of water should be saved. Sustainable excuse me, sustainable use of water is necessary for our future. So everyone should use water judiciously. Okay, wastage of water should be avoided. Priority should be given to save water. So in this way, here also you can get 3 marks easily. Come to the question number 4. Observe the figure given figure and answer the following questions. Okay, figure is given. Some questions are given. You have to observe the figure and answer the following questions. So first is, what reaction is shown in the given figure? So you are expected to write the answers in the full sentence. The reaction shown is nuclear fission or chain reaction. Okay. Second one, where does it use? Where it is used? This reaction is used in nuclear power plants where electricity is generated. Third, which element is used in it? So which element? Everyone knows. Uranium-235 is used in the nuclear fission reactions. Write the answer in full sentence. Here also you will get 3 marks without any spelling mistakes. Okay, uranium-235 is used in the nuclear fission reaction. This reaction is used in the nuclear power plants where electricity is generated. Come to the question number 5. What is the difference between the structural organization and symmetry? Explain with example. Okay. Grades of organization is the structural organization of animal, whereas symmetry is whether the animal's body can be divided into equal half when cut through an imaginary axis. Okay. This is the difference. First difference. In the grades of organization, unicellular organisms have protoplasmic grade organization. In multicellular organism, There are different grades of organization, namely cellular grade, cell tissue grade. In some animals, there is tissue organ grade organization, while higher animals have organ system grade organization. Okay, so you are aware of the unicellular and organisms and multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms, like amoeba, have a single cell in the body, hence the organization in its body is called protoplasmic grade of organization. Okay, now next. Protoplasmic grade organization, amoeba, cellular grade organization, porifera, cell tissue grade organization, that is synhedrians, tissue organ grade organization, that is platyhelminthes, organ system grade organization, all higher animals. Depending upon symmetry, animals are asymmetrical, radially symmetrical, bilaterally symmetrical animals. Asymmetrical, that is amoeba, radially symmetrical, that is starfish, and bilateral symmetrical, that is cockroach man. Grades of organization is concerned with the structure of animals, and thus this has no relations with the symmetry. Okay, so how many points are there? 7 points for 3 marks. Here in this answer, what was the asked? That is, what is the exact difference between the grades of organization and symmetry? And we have given the examples also. So in this way, you write down the answers. So this answer is this as related to the question. This answer is satisfied. It is completed. We have given the examples also. We have explained the symmetry. Okay. Now come to the question 6. Which precautions are necessary for proper decomposition of domestic waste? Okay. What precautions are necessary to decompose the domestic waste? Domestic kitchen waste. The domestic waste should be properly segregated into biodegradable, that is wet waste, and non-biodegradable, that is dry waste. Okay. After segregation, this waste should be stored separately into two different containers. The non-biodegradable substances should either reused or sent for recycling. There are plastics, tin cans, Tetra packs. Okay, all these can be recycled. So this has to be separately stored and can be either reused or sent for the recycling. The biodegradable substances are decomposed naturally. Okay, that is the wet waste. It can be decomposed naturally. The decomposition process can be done at household level too in a, at household level too in a pot or a tank. Many of the societies, they are taking initiatives. They are collecting their domestic wet waste, that is biodegradable waste, and they are uh, decomposing in their society, and this decomposition will yield a rich manure. The pot should be covered by a thin layer of soil and it should be kept in a dark but airy place. The non-biodegradable things such as plastic articles, glass pieces, metal objects, unused medicines, e-waste, that is electronic waste, should never be thrown in wet waste. Okay, the toxic substances and the insecticides, if added to wet waste, will never allow natural decomposition process. Therefore, only after taking proper precautions we can aim at proper decomposition of domestic waste. Okay. If all the kitchen waste wet material decomposed in the society in a tank or a pot, then you will get a good manure. That manure can be used in the uh, society gardens or the farming purpose, and you should not and if you separate the non-biodegradable material, so it will cause less harm to the environment also. So non-biodegradable things such as plastic articles, glass pieces, metal objects, unused medicines, electronic waste, it should not be never be thrown into the wet waste. Okay, that for that segregation is done. So here also, here we have completed the fourth question. Come to the fifth question. What is the fifth question? Write a short note on the production of yogurt. Okay. Yogurt, a fermented dairy product whereby milk is inoculated with bacteria cultures. Fermentation, a slow decomposition process of organic substances induced by microorganisms or enzymes to produce yogurt. Lactose, a compound sugar found in milk known as the lactin or milk sugar, is fermented by two different species of bacteria, that is lactobacillus and streptococcus. Yogurt is commercially produced by adding to milk 2 to 4% non-fat dry milk powder that has been inoculated with the 5% combination of lactobacillus bulgaris and streptococcus thermophilus 1:1 ratio. The milk mixture is then incubated at 45 degrees centigrade for 3 to 6 hours. The product must be chilled immediately. Okay, so this is the composition or production of yogurt. The lactobacillus help in the formation of acetaldehyde-like compounds, giving a characteristic taste to the yogurt. The streptococcus bacteria convert the milk into solution containing lactic acid. This makes the protein to gel out. It makes yogurt dense. Come to the question number 7. What changes occur in persons continuously using the internet and mobile phones? If the person has become addicted continuously using internet and mobile phones, so what changes you will find out? When a person continuously remains in contact with mobile phones, many problems can arise. Tiredness, headache, insomnia, forgetfulness, tidiness, joint pains, and problems in vision occur due to radiation re- eman- emanating from the cell phones. For young children, this is more as this radiation can penetrate their bones. By logging into the internet for a long time, person becomes solitary. Such individuals are unable to establish harmonious relations with relatives and other people around. They tend to become self-centered and selfish. They lose sensitivity towards others. Such people never take any social responsibility and social health and thus is disturbed. Okay. Most of the time they are busy using internet and mobile phones, so they become selfish, self-centered. They are not much bothered about the society and the people around them, and due to this headache, vision problem, tiredness, insomnia, forgetfulness, joint pains, such problems arising. And in the young children, the radiation penetrates into their bones, so that is very harmful for the young generation. Okay, 8 to 1. I think I've 7, 5. Okay, now come to the question number 4. Answer the following anyone. This question will contain two sub-questions of 5 marks each. You have to attempt any one. One question from biology and one from EVS will be asked. This question will contain following types of questions. Draw a figure and give explanation. Correct and incorrect diagram. Classify with details explanation. Read the given paragraph and answer the questions. Complete the complete the given incomplete table or chart and give explanation. Answer the questions in detail. Make a concept diagram based on any component of technology. So out of this 7, any 2 questions will be asked. You have to write only one for 5 marks. Okay. Solve the following question. Anyone observe the following figure and answer the question. Now you have to observe this figure. Okay. What does the figure indicate? The figure indicates the menstrual cycle in human female. Okay. Write the answer in full sentence. Which human organ are involved in this process? The ovary and uterus are primarily involved in this process, but the pituitary gland also controls this cycle. Name the hormones responsible for this process. Following hormones regulate this menstrual cycle. Pituitary hormones, that is follicle stimulating hormone FSH, and luteinizing hormone, that is LH. So these two hormones, they are responsible for this process. Next hormone, that is ovarian hormones, estrogen and progesterone. After how many days this repetitive changes takes place? The menstrual cycle shows repetitive changes to every 28 to 30 days. A woman should stay away from others as her body is impaired during this process. What is your opinion about this statement? Elaborate this. Okay. Whether this is correct or incorrect, what is your opinion? You have to elaborate. A menstruating movement is not at all with impure body. It is a natural process in which the endometrium of the uterus is locked off and repaired. She should get enough rest and nutrition during this period. It is painful period in which there is a possibility of infections. Therefore, she should take hygienic care and rest till the bleeding persists. But blind faith and superstition to keep her away from other should not be followed. Okay, she should take rest and proper hygiene, but that she should be kept away from all others. This is the blind faith that should not be followed. So this was the first question. You have to see the diagram given. You have to read the question and write down the answers. Here you have to only write the answers. Okay, just put number A, B, C, D, right answers. Now this is the second question of the question number 4. Following are the pictures of some disasters. How you will be pre and post disaster management in case you have faced any of those disasters. Okay, some pictures are given: pre disaster management and post disaster. So what will be your role if you have faced any of these disasters? So first one, you see, this is the first one: gas leakage. If the gas is already leaked in the house, we shall move out immediately along with pets if any. Okay. There is less time. Whenever there is a leakage, you have don't on switch on any button, electric button, okay, fan button, light button. Don't switch on any of the button. Just you have to open the windows, doors, and just call the emergency number for the gas leakage. Okay, that the person will come and he will repair. If very there's more gas is leaked, then immediately you have to move out of the house along with the pets if any. See the second picture. Okay. Two groups of children are fighting with each other. If the fight is taking place, we shall try to separate the two and check if anyone is injured and give first aid if that in case is the case and counsel them. Okay, two groups are fighting, then immediately we have to take initiative and make we shall separate them. And first, immediately check if anyone is injured. We have to give them first aid, and if and then we have to counsel them. First, we have to see if anyone is injured. फर्स्ट एड से काम होता है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो तुरंत हॉस्पिटल में लेके जाना चाहिए if bleeding is there. And then we have to counsel them that do you should not fight. Whatever the matter is, you have to talk and solve. Don't be violent. Then see the third picture. There is a heavy downpour due to cloud bursting, which has led to water logging in the town by heavy rains. The transportation comes to a halt, and municipal bodies open storm water with the help of elders. A message of warning should be spread in such case. Okay. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पूरी तरह से बंद हो जाता है, and then we have to take help of the municipal bodies. We have to help the elders, and warning should be spread that no one should leave the house unless and until the people come to help you. See the fourth picture. There is a cyclone causing tornado, and we shall help the people in need. Okay, see the fifth picture. The tourniquet should be tied in the region that is snake bite or above the snake bite. The rope or a piece of cloth or handkerchief can be used for this purpose so that the venom should not reach any vital organs. The victim should be rushed to the hospital. Okay, snake bite में अगर होता है snake bite, you have to tie a cloth or a handkerchief in the wherever the bite has taken place, उसके ऊपर बांधना है तो circulation होगा नहीं and the poison will not reach to the organs. Okay. और this was that was first was this menstrual cycle ये लिखना है और this one. Okay, for 5 marks. So now as the exams are coming nearer, so you have to take care of your health. Do not stress much. You have to be positive. Okay, you can do. You can revise. Keep doing revision. Whatever things you find hard, you do that. Now, what are the benefits of laughing? This is reduces heart disease, a natural painkiller, improves breathing, helps you to lose weight, improves your sleep, decreases stress, make you look younger. Okay, so instead of taking stress, you have to laugh. Now, this is the stress management skills. Reduce the noise, self limitations, exercise, healthy diet, sleep habit, time management, how many hours you are going to study, how many hours you will give yourself for the entertainment, chatting with friends, family time, then self study, meditation, friendly social network. So, this is the it will do the time management. You will understand how many hours you are studying and how many hours you people are wasting. So instead of wasting, utilize this time for exercising and meditation, friendly social network with good peer group. And these are the some tips for the time management. If you'll do the time management, now the 2 months left for your exam, so 60 days, and how many chapters are there subject wise that you have to count, and then for each subject, how many days you are going to give for the revision. So stop multitasking. Don't do the multitasking at a time. Okay, सारा सब्जेक्ट एक साथ में नहीं पढ़ोगे आप, then एक भी सब्जेक्ट पे आप concentrate नहीं कर पाओगे. For that reason, do the time management. Planning should be there. Then you will be able to just give justice to each and every subject. Set reminders. Only focus on what matters. Break tasks into steps. Get more organized. Remove distractions, that is phone. Then plan your day. Write down your priorities. Make a stop doing list. आपको क्या नहीं करना है उसकी भी एक लिस्ट बनाओ. Check your emails only 2 times a day. आप लोगों को ज़रूरत नहीं है उसकी. Just you have to don't check the WhatsApp status. Have break and refresh your mind. So these are the tips for the time management. Then time management, set goals correctly, prioritize wisely, set a time limit, take breaks between tasks, organize yourself, remove non-essential tasks, plan ahead. Okay, laughter is the best medicine. Okay, but don't take stress much. And this is the best of luck from all of us. Believing your dreams is the only way to reach your destinations. You have to set the goal, okay, whatever you have, what is your dream, and for that, fulfill that dream, okay. You have to do hard work and believing, you have to believe in yourself. Yes, I can do, I have to do, I will do. Believing your dreams is the only way to reach your destinations. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood whatever I have discussed or analyzed the paper. Thank you very much. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Shreyash. Shreyash. Hello. Hello. तो अलग खाली.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I have winded up.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This
Thank you,
was
students.